live. So we're gonna sit here for a little while, and as soon as we're gonna make sure everybody gets in and yeah, make sure we have sound.
Yeah, our mics are unmuted, so you should be able to hear.
Okay, good. I'm gonna. You said it's live.
Yep.
Cool.
Should be.
Awesome. I'm gonna let people filter in here for like I don't know, like 60 seconds or so, and then we'll start. Looks like we have live. Awesome. Awesome.
Look good.
Looks great.
Don't pull your pants up.
Yeah.
Again.
Grabbing stuff out of my truck to carry back into the room.
Oh, you're going back. Are you staying in a hotel, Bill, or are you going in your room or
Yeah.
in your truck?
Yeah, I'm out in my truck right now.
He's gonna go back into his room though.
Awesome. Hello, Joseph, in the chat. Joseph, can you hear us? I want to make sure you can hear us in there. I know you can't see us yet, but if you can hear us, just let us know in the chat. We want to make sure everybody can hear us. Tammy Ann Meyerdirk. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your last name. I just want to make sure everybody can hear us.
We're live.
I think you need to be turned up a little bit, David.
Yep. All right. I hear sound.
Sounds good.
All right. You guys ready? You ready to start this?
Let's roll.
All right. Let's do it. Maddie, count it down.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody out there. It is, let's see, it is January 27th, 2019, and this is the Chrome and Steel Radio January Party. We have here today, we have Mr. Bill Weaver in the bottom screen down there. In the top left, we have the new to Chrome and Steel Radio, Jerry Novak and Tyler Novak. They are the hosts of Bull Hall and BS, and of course, here at Jack's Chrome Shop, we have myself and Maddie in the producer's seat.
What's up, y'all?
Jack is not here today. He has a family and things to do, and yeah, I guess Sunday was not a good day for him, but that's all right. We'll see him tomorrow morning. Today we are talking about.
Don't think Jack really exists. Nobody's seen Jack. It goes right along with the Jack's Chrome Shop shirts. If you don't know Chrome, then you don't know Jack.
Exactly.
And we don't know Jack. And
Exactly.
we don't think nobody ever sees him.
He's a figment of your imagination. He's not real.
I think so.
Yeah, exactly. But today we are talking about Jerry and Tyler's new show called Bull Hall and BS. We are also talking about interesting topic, especially because Tyler is here. Tyler, you're 17, right?
Yes, sir.
Today we are talking about things I wish I would have known at 17. For those who don't know, I'm 23 years old right now, so I'm a little bit older than 17. But there are some things I wish I would have known at 17, and I'm sure that Jerry and Bill can give us some insights. Not because they're old, but because they're experienced, right? Yeah.
There's a lot of white hair.
There's a lot of white hair there, yeah. But yeah, today we're talking about that. We're talking about a little bit of maths. We're talking about a whole bunch of different subjects. So let's get started. Jerry, would you please tell us about your new show, which is Bull Hall and BS, which airs this Tuesday, right? Tuesday evening.
Yeah, Tyler and I, we were kind of asked to do this deal. We don't have a clue what we're doing. We've never done anything like this before, but that guy in the bottom of the screen, Bill Weaver, twisted my arm a little bit. And your partner, Dave, Jack, cornered me and said, let's get it.
Let's get it. All right.
Let's get
I've
it.
never done this before.
It's a good time.
Probably have to bear with us for a while. It's going to be a work in progress.
Well, you guys are talking about livestock. You guys are talking about particularly when I say livestock, I mean cattle particularly, and llamas on good days. And
yeah, we'll get into the llama story one of these days. We might have a special guest coming in with that one that started that whole thing.
Who did start that, by the way?
Once again,
Was it TB or was it BW? Was it Bill?
No, actually, what started the whole thing was
Oh.
Alpaca Man was I had to go pick up cattle one day, and I got a phone call. Can you pick up this alpaca while you're there? That one alpaca, of course, being a trucker story with an unnamed individual by the name of, anyway, I'm not going to throw Bill Weaver under the bus, but anyway, he turned that around and made it a semi-load of alpacas.
Of alpacas.
And that led to, as Tyler just said, can you sing it?
The Candyman can, like bobbing its head out the side of the trailer.
Oh, the alpaca? Was it outside this, just going? Yeah.
Hey, I hauled it too, if that makes it any better.
Actually, he's the alpaca wrangler. I just hauled him.
Oh,
He's
okay.
the wrangler.
Okay, Tyler's the alpaca. Yeah, okay. So please tell us, Tyler, why alpacas are better or worse than cattle.
Yes.
They're a lot smarter.
Are they?
Smarter.
Smarter than me? Is that
I hear they're mean. And I've been around alpacas.
Yeah, they are that.
Yeah, but I've never been around them long enough to like actually know. But alpacas are apparently mean. So, but yeah, so the Bull Holland BS, Bull Holland Bullshit show is airing this coming Tuesday evenings with Tyler and Jerry Novak. They're going to be talking about cattle, livestock, Bull Holland, the transportation industry in general, and I'm really excited because I think their show is going to be super fun. Bill right now is just randomly walking around Texas somewhere, and
Yeah, lost.
yeah, but that's what we have here today. I think Hope might drop in later, but let's talk first about our first sponsor, which is Trucker Stick. And Bill, you have a Trucker Stick with you, don't you? Somewhere?
You bet. Well, it's
I think I have one here in the office somewhere. So our first sponsor is Trucker Stick, and we want to talk about Trucker Stick first of all because they are now in TAs all over the country. Okay, Trucker Stick is a squeegee. I wish I had one with me, Maddie. Do we have one in here?
I don't know where it is.
Trucker Stick is a squeegee. It's a double-sided squeegee, and it essentially helps you guys out with cleaning your mirrors. It has a flat blade, which helps you do your flat mirrors, and a curved blade, which does your convex mirrors. If you guys would like to check them out, they are in TAs all over the country, from what I hear, and they have their special edition blue St. Christopher's Trucker Stick in TAs right now. So if you guys would like to help St. Christopher's, which is a charity that helps truckers out, at St. Christopher's Truckers Fund, I believe is the exact name, but they help truckers out who are in need. So if you purchase a Trucker Stick from the TAs around the country right now, look for the blue ones. A portion of that will go to the St. Christopher's Truckers Fund. If you would like to get some more information about Trucker Stick or see what it looks like, go to truckerstick.com, which is www.trukstik.com. It's spelled a little bit weird, but it's trukstik.com. They are in all TAs all over the country, so check those out right now. Bill, how do you like your Trucker Stick, by the way? Oh, Bill dropped out. Jared, do you have one?
No, I don't have one.
We're going to have to send you one. I have 2 or 3 here in the office. They're actually really handy. I use it for my car, and it's seriously the best thing ever. It's a double-sided squeegee, but they're great. Yeah.
You know what? That would work really good for any of you truckers out there that get behind a bull hauler. We all know what flies when you get behind us.
Yeah. Everything and anything that's in
Maybe
that
some
trailer.
bull hauling bullshit.
Maybe,
perhaps?
yeah, maybe
There
some
you go. Wow, man, what a great sponsor for bull hauling bullshit.
Trucker Stick. Yeah. So
Trucker Stick.
if you guys are interested, truckerstick.com, and also look in your local TAs. They're obviously TAs are everywhere. Go in there and look for the blue Trucker Stick and pick those up. Anyway, let's get on to our first major topic today, which is things I wish I would have known at 17. One thing I wish I would have known at 17 is that, especially for my age, sometimes I feel like everyone is looking at our social media, but then I realized, like my social media personally, but then I realized as I got older that no one cares. Like, I always felt like when I post stuff on social media that I was going to be judged by other people, but I don't think anyone really cares. And so I think social media has played a smaller and smaller impact on my life as I've gotten older and older. And so I think, especially my generation, millennials, and I mean, Maddie, you're in that too. Tyler, I think your generation might be a little bit different. But social media was not as big of an impact as I thought it was going to be on my life. And I didn't realize that until I got into my 20s. What do you guys think about that?
What do you think?
I don't know.
What do you think about social media, Tyler? I mean, because so here's what I think. In my generation, social media is important, but it's not the end all be all. I think you and the generations after you, people younger than you, are going to have social media as their entire life. You know what I mean? Like social media is going to be everything to them because social interaction is more and more rare. But I mean, for my generation, I didn't realize how little it had an impact on my life. What do you think going forward?
What do you think? Is it going to play a part in your life?
I guess so.
Well,
Yeah.
every time I look at you going down the road, I'm calling BS on that comment that you just made about it doesn't affect you. Every time we're rolling down the road, you get a
I'm on
picture
Snapchat.
every 30 seconds. You're on Snapchat.
Okay, yeah,
It's-
Snapchat. I was going to ask you about Snapchat. Do you have Snapchat, Tyler?
Yeah.
Okay, so Snapchat. I mean, I wouldn't consider that social media, but I would consider that like
It kind of is.
It's kind of social media. Yeah, I used to use Snapchat a lot, and I don't anymore.
I don't
but
either.
Yeah, I use Instagram Live or Instagram the Instagram Stories. But I think as I've gotten older, the weird thing is truckers are very in tune with social media, and I think
It keeps them connected.
it
I mean,
keeps
that's
them
the whole goal of
that's
social
the one
media
thing.
to begin with.
It's
really.
a very isolated. I mean, truckers are on the road all the time. It's not like you can have like your friends with you in the cab. So I think social media is a great way for truckers to communicate with each other, in like a an interesting and keep people updated way. But I think as we move forward and as more younger truckers hit that 21 age and start going in, get their CDL and go out there and get, is it 21 or is it, I think it's 21, right? Am I speaking out of turn there, guys?
25 before they can run interstate.
Okay, yeah. So once they reach
intrastate, you can run, I think, at 21 with 18 within the state, but you got to be at 25 to actually get over the road. If I'm not mistaken, I'm out of touch with that.
Yeah, I don't know either. But as more younger truckers, I think, get into the industry, which I hope they will, I think social media is going to continue to play a bigger and bigger role in the industry as a whole, especially trucking and transportation in general. I think Instagram and social media is going to continue to grow. So that's one thing I wish I would have known when I was 17, that people are not necessarily looking at my Instagram or my social media and stuff like that, my Snapchat, and people aren't judging you on your social media, and that's one thing that I had to really accept as I got older.
I don't know. Do you think they judge you, Tyler, on your social media?
Do you feel, Tyler? Do you feel like you have to have like a on point social media to like get? I mean, I don't want to be rude or whatever, but like to attract certain females or whatever. Do you feel like you have to have like an on point Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, so you can pick up the ladies? I know you don't need that help, but
not really. You just got to Snapchat them.
Yeah.
Like, back.
Right? you just got to give them attention. Exactly.
He's got to figure it out, man.
Yeah, he's got to figure it out.
All they want is your attention.
All they want is attention.
Just give it to them and they'll shut
up. Dating advice from David and Tyler. There you go. But yeah, I feel like social media is not as big of a deal as I thought it was. In high school, it used to be everything. But now, as I've gotten older, I feel like social media is just kind of, it's whatever. So that's what I wish I would have known at 17. Jerry, what's one thing that you wish you would have known at 17 years old that you know now? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I lived in the dark ages. Let's see. At 17, that was back in 1881.
Oh, at least
1981.
Something like that.
Oh, there's hope.
We have hope. By the way, guys, we have hope. Hope is here. Hello, Hope. How are you?
I think she's
still
getting
she
in
has
here.
us mute.
Hey.
Hi, Hope. Hi. Guys,
Hey, good.
this is Hope Zavara. She is the host of A Daily Dose of Hope, which airs every Thursday at 10 a.m. So please watch her show. No, you're all right. You're all right.
I have this thing called kids.
You have three,
Yeah.
don't you? You have 3 kids, don't you?
Yeah, so we'll just leave it at that.
You have a clan. Yeah, Maddie was the only girl in here, so she was feeling left out. But now,
I was.
Yeah,
Thank you for
no
saving
worries,
me.
no worries.
Hope, today we're talking about things we wish we would have known at 17 years old.
Oh God.
Do you want to share? What do you wish you would? Jerry, go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Now, I was going to tell Hope, my son, this is Tyler. He's the co-host on Bull Hall and BS. He's 17. We were cutting up a few minutes ago, and it was like, hey, there's a good topic for tonight.
Yeah.
Let's put a 17-year-old on the spot.
We were talking about social media and how I used to think that social media was a big deal and that like people were like judging me on my life based on my social media, and then as I got older I started to realize that no one gives a shit. Like what you see on Instagram is not reflective of what is actually happening in my life, or Snapchat or whatever. You know what I mean? I didn't know that when I was younger. I thought, oh, I have to put something on my Instagram feed or my story or my Snapchat or my Facebook or whatever.
Dead.
Yeah, exactly. People think you're dead, and it's like, no, I'm just living life. You know what I mean? So,
Well, I
I just figured it out.
That people only share, it's like 5% of what their real life is like. And so obviously they're only sharing the highlights because whoever wants to share like what life is really like.
Exactly.
Yeah, seriously.
yeah.
I never had that. Like social media wasn't around when I was in high school. We just passed notes about people. And then the note fell out of your backpack and you were screwed.
Yeah,
so
and then your teacher read it.
That was really the only thing. But what I would have known when I was 17, that what it's like now is nothing like what real life is like.
Yeah, that is for sure.
Exactly.
That the things that you worry about and the fact that you feel like, nobody gets you or whatever, well, guess what? That's, partly what life is like, but there's a much bigger perspective than passing your algebra test and being late to social studies or whatever. There's a lot more stuff than that.
Yeah, I think especially kids, young adults that are growing up in, I would say, the generation after millennials. Is that Generation Z? I think, because when I grew up, we were still in an analog world. I was born in 1995, so like we were still in picture, like small camcorder phase, and we were still in that phase. So I grew up without social media, and then it got introduced when I was probably in high school. And so I think the generation after us that gets introduced straight into the social media world is going to have a huge impact on their lives. And I think that's something that's mostly not good, mostly negative, because it's not a reflection of how people's lives actually are. Not everyone is on a beach in, Bali just hanging out or whatever, right? Like, I think it's not a very genuine way to present your life. So I think social media is going to be a very polarizing thing in the next couple years.
Here's a question for you guys.
Sure.
When I was in elementary school, middle school, maybe even high school, I don't ever remember so many people talking about stress. I mean, maybe once or twice, in high school, I'm really stressed or whatever. But so I work with kids too. I do kids yoga and all that kind of stuff. You would not believe the 5 and 6 year olds that are on antidepressants or understand fully what stress is. Like, we're an over-scheduled, over-committed society. And I think even if you look at 17-year-olds' lives, like, okay, you don't need to be in 90 different sports, and it's okay if you don't get all A's on your, report card, and you miss a day of high school and you don't have perfect attendance, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, I think as we have progressed in time, I think people have become more busy and more used to filling up their entire schedule. I think it's become more like everyone has to be doing something at all times in order to feel busy. You know what I mean? I feel like especially college is very...
Tyler, like something there.
Tyler,
when you said if you miss a day of school, if I miss a day in math class, I am lost.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that so
See,
much. I'm
guy.
so bad at math. Still haven't passed it at Purdue.
Here he is. He's a junior in high school, and he's taking pre-calculus.
There you go. Pre-calc is hard, though.
Dude, I could not pass that.
Yeah.
When I was 17 years old, I was worried about, am I going to have enough gas to get through the weekend? Where's the next bonfire or whatever? I mean,
I do think that there is a lot more stress added to kids, and that's why they're more aware of it. Is because it's a whole different... I think that, and they're also more used to hearing those types of words thrown around a lot more
our universities are a cause of that. I think our universities are
and the social media is also a cause.
Here's what blows my mind. How many people do I know that are my age, I'm going to be 35, that have gone to college multiple times now to get multiple degrees because they don't know what they want to do in life, because they just were told you got to go to school. They had no idea who they were, and they have this degree and that degree and this degree, and even like the generation after me. And it's like, my gosh, you guys, like, go figure out who you are. Like, it's, okay, I am a college dropout, so I'm partial to that, but that's not the answer. If you don't have a degree, doesn't mean you're not going to be successful in life. Like, there are plenty of people out there killing it without a master's or a PhD.
110% agree. I think our university system has set people up to fail in a non... I don't think they mean to do it, but I think our high school and university systems have set students up to fail because I think they have pigeonholed them into going to universities. And I don't think...
when I was in high school, my counselor never suggested any other thing to me except, what university are you going to?
Yeah, me too.
Exactly.
Me too.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
This is going to blow you guys away, but I'm a product of a one-room schoolhouse in northeast Nebraska.
Are you really?
That's crazy.
My dad went to.
Rock on.
My grandfather went to. Tyler got selected when he was, what was it, fourth grade? Or third or fourth grade or whatever. They had this advanced schoolhouse where they took, certain kids to a one-room schoolhouse. It was like set where they got everybody dressed up like what? Early 1900s?
Yeah.
And it was so funny. He took an article to school before they went to that thing, the article about this one-room schoolhouse, and it had my name right there in it, and all the generations that went to it. And he said, well, my dad's a product of one of these schools just like this. The teacher all but called you a liar, didn't she?
Yeah. And he also said that I'd be better off working with my hands than being better in grades. And I proved her wrong in that till about freshman year, and then I started going down.
I proved her wrong until freshman year.
Hey, that's all right.
That's all right, dude. I'm telling you,
you showed that lady for a solid
6
years.
Have you guys seen? Okay, so someone tagged me a couple of weeks ago in a Facebook post of some construction worker guy talking to the camera, crying, wiping his eyes
with $100 bills.
Of money.
Yeah, I've seen that.
High school. Oh my God! I showed my husband because he's in construction.
Exactly.
I laughed my ass off because that is the reality. That is the reality that is going on in our school system right now.
Yeah, I think because people are being pigeonholed into going into universities when I got to be honest with you guys, I don't think half the population is university or wants to go to university. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like skilled trades are slowly dying.
Also can't put everybody in the university.
Exactly.
Like who's going to do our plumbing? Who's going to build our roads? Who's going to build our fancy buildings that our CEOs go to work in? Like who's going to get our food from point A to point B? Like that is the reality we are living in.
That is something I wish I would have known at 17 right there, is that universities are not as important as people think they are.
College is not everything it's made out to be.
College is not what everyone thinks it is.
At all.
It's funny you guys touch on that as far as the where the trades are needed. I kind of follow the agricultural world since, I'm a part-time trucker, part-time cattle buyer, part-time you name it, with my hands and everything else. Tyler works with cattle on a day in and day out basis, not just show cattle, but also cows that head on down the road that you see, splattered off your windshield, for lack of better words. But no, it's not that look. What we're talking about is anyway. Literally the BS. But anyway,
all the BS.
But anyway, I was listening. I think I was up in Wisconsin on a buying trip, and they were talking about the University of Wisconsin had done some kind of study or something like that, and 65,000 jobs a year going unfulfilled in the agricultural world.
Oh my God.
It's not a glory job or anything like that, but it's very lucrative. You get into the animal sciences world, it's wide open where you can go, and that's 65,000 jobs a year. And this has been a shortage for almost 10 years. Everybody always wants to get into the IT world, all the glamorous stuff. They're afraid to get their hands dirty, their pants dirty, blisters on their hands. Prime example, this boy's got ripped open knuckles from the cattle show.
Do you think also partly what goes into that is also then we have a crap load of people that are overqualified.
Oh, yeah.
That are not willing to do a job that seems lowly. And I'm not insulting anyone because jobs are far and few lowly, but they don't equate that to a good job when, these are the people that are surely employed, have great benefits, know exactly where their food is going every single day. It blows my mind. I know people I can count on both hands that will not get a job that's below them.
I applied for a job back when I got out of the military. I was in the telecom world doing electronics, but I always stayed in the trucking world as well. Part-time jobs in trucking. I made good money, weekends, days off, or whatever. Found somebody that would employ me. It was an agricultural side of stuff, Wasn't anything glamorous, but hey, you know what? It helped put food on the table. Well, anyway, I get stationed in Dayton, Ohio. I ended up leaving the military there. Took a job with a local telephone company doing business communication systems, IT world, and everything like that. Went in and I applied for a job just as a technician. The manager that I interviewed looked at me and said, "You're overqualified for this job that you're hired for." So I looked him dead in the eye and I said, "So how do I apply for your job?"
Way to do it. I'll tell you what.
Guess who got the job? And 6 months later, he was without a job.
Did you get a job, Jerry? Did you get the job?
Part of the problem with all this, though, is that we've somehow lost in translation along the way by emphasizing higher education. We've lost the ability to teach these kids to be proud of the job they do. I don't care if
and defining what higher education is. That could be a job on the job training. It's not necessarily 4 years of college.
You take somebody like me and Jerry. We've been in these trucks just all our life. And we learn something every day. I mean, we're all getting a higher education every day. This knowing calculus. I thank God we've got chemists and stuff. Everybody out here is not cut out to do that. And conversely, a chemist is not cut out to climb in my Peterbilt and take off down the road.
Exactly. Yeah.
He cannot do my job, and I take pride in my job. He takes pride in his, and through that, we keep this world turning.
That was great what you said about education, Bill. Every day you learn something new. Tyler, what do you learn every day? When you're working cattle, do you learn something? What do we learn?
Learn how to not get crap in your face.
That's a good one. That's number one. That's number one. Yeah.
No, not that. I mean, true education. Do we all get education every day up there when we're sorting cattle, moving cattle,
do a lot of math, simple math.
Well, yeah, but you're doing it on the fly.
Yeah.
This boy here can grade a cow based on grade, pretty much as far as like grade it as far as it's like utility, select, prime, choice, how it's going to grade, close to what it's going to yield, is everything that he's learning right now in high school. You're learning this stuff on the fly, as well as how to read an animal on what you figure it weighs, and that all goes into calculating what you're, where you need to be.
And I think there's a huge focus on the that's a more applied type of mathematics, or the applied part of it is what matters in life, really, not the can you solve this equation on a piece of paper. It's like, can you apply this in real life? Can you use what you're learning as a benefit to you in your actual everyday life? I don't feel like they learn. I don't feel like people are learning that in school.
I agree.
I certainly didn't.
I think our school system, especially high schools, are pointing students towards universities, which are misguiding students that could be in the trades. And that's really something that I wish I would have known at 17, is that college is not
everything.
Yeah. Not everyone is destined to go to college. That's just not the case.
And if you don't go right away, you're not going to die.
Exactly.
Yes.
If you go and travel. So here's a great thing. So if you go to Europe areas, I'm trying to think of two of the specific countries. When I think of them, I'll mention it. But it's called Wharfing. So they actually encourage their high school graduates to not go to college after high school. They actually encourage their students to go and travel, be a barista in some new country or place, to sleep on the beach, to do whatever, to not go. Figure out who they are, figure out what they want in life, and then go. And I guess their job, what would be like job matching, is incredibly higher. Like the people going back.
Oh, the placement rate, whatever it is.
Because how many high schoolers actually know what they want to do when they grow up? How many high schoolers know what they want to be, who they are, what their likes are? You hear so many people switching their majors 5, 6, 7, a dozen times. Isn't that a sign that they're not ready to be there? I mean, come on.
I agree.
Exactly.
I think we are pushing younger and younger students to figure out the rest of their life too soon.
Yeah.
And I want to bring this up, but the largest population of adult men who have a high school diploma and not a further education after that is in the trucking industry. I think the most, non post-secondary education men in this country are truck drivers. And I think that's a very important thing that we need to be talking about, is like, trucks are not going anywhere, regardless of what, Tesla or whatever, whoever's coming up with these, self-driving trucks or whatever. Trucks are going to be around still for a very long time, and there's going to be someone behind them for a very long time. And so there's going to be millions of men and women out there who are going to need to get behind the wheel of a truck and go do this. And that does not require a college education, but some truckers make some excellent money, especially compared to university grads. Like, I mean, university grads might make somewhere, starting out between 45, 50, 60 grand, and some truckers are making 6 figures within a couple of years. So, I mean, I think we are limiting the next generation in their possibilities of growth and their career path by forcing everyone into universities, I think.
Another thing that's good about trucking too is that it also provides, like Hope was talking about, like that opportunity for potential travel. You know, like I feel like as a truck driver, not only could you don't have to go to college.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you can, I feel like there is a lot of freedom to being a truck driver. I think that is, to some extent, I'm obviously not one, so there's probably pros and cons, but I feel like, you could make whatever you wanted out of it, really.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, how long have you been doing this again? Jerry, how long have you been doing this?
My God, since I was 17, I'm 51 now. I mean, if I really said since I've been doing it, I've been in and out of it. But,
yeah, and how many states have you been to? Like, actually, man, I'm
all
here.
of them. All of them.
All of them?
Yeah. Well, except for, all the lower 48. I was born in Alaska.
You can't get a truck to Hawaii? Whoa.
Whoa. We don't have amphibious trucks yet? What?
Take right away, I'll take the load, though.
I just joking. But see, that's my point, though. That's my point. Like, you have traveled everywhere. You have experienced so many truckers I have talked to in the last year are so well seasoned and know so much about so many things that most people are like, what, stop. What did you just say?
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable how, when I say educated, I mean like life educated.
Oh, yeah.
Common
So
sense.
many different things that so many other people will never experience because life is also their school, and they started when they were 18 years old, many of them.
Agreed.
Exactly.
I totally agree. I think our education system needs to kind of rethink itself and kind of be like, you know, what is the actual representation of our population? You know, how many people are actually in universities that want to go to or want to go to post-secondary education, and how many people are, you know, just they want to go into the workforce right after that? You know, a lot of people just want to go into the workforce or the military or something like that, and I think we are wasting resources on people that have no intention of going to universities because it's not the best option for them. You know what I mean? They want to work with
And
their
money.
hands and money
And the
and money.
reality
Yeah.
is, if you look, so I have 3 kids. One of mine is 4, and then 8 and 10. I see this also at an elementary level. I mean, there's 3K now. When I was 3, I was playing out in my backyard and eating napkins and sand sandwiches. I mean, that literally was me and my neighbor. So now these kids are going to school 5 days a week, and they're 3 and 4. They're forced to read and be able to write their name in kindergarten, which we weren't doing that in kindergarten, and then come into elementary school. There are totally different pressures now than there ever were.
Oh,
And
for
on
sure.
the flip side, most of the kids in public schools are not being taught cursive. They're just skipping that. Look at their handwriting. It's god awful. How are we going to read our Constitution? How are we going to read old books? How are we going to read anything from our founding fathers if we can't read cursive? Don't you see that as a problem? And then we get
I
into
think so.
high school and we have all this accelerated everything. These kids have no life skills. They don't know how to play. I don't
Oh,
do
yeah.
electronics with my kids. All of their friends at school, the second they get in the car with their parents, they pull out their tablet.
Yep.
They have no social skills. On the bus, all the kids bring their stuff. My kids sit there because they don't have electronics.
I think it's
No
gonna get
social
worse.
skills.
I think it's
This
going to
is
get
a
worse.
Problem, you guys.
Yeah, I think as we go through time and as technology advances, especially with all the new iPhones and the AirPods, which I have right here, people are going to stop paying attention to reality and live in their own little world of whatever technology stuff. So I think the generation after mine and after Generation Z is going to be screwed, in my opinion. I think they're going to be pushed into this university system, and I mean, where are the plumbers going to come from? Where are the craftsmen, the metal workers, the handymen, all these different, you know, contractors, all this stuff, the truck drivers especially, where are they going to come from if all of them are being pushed into universities? You know what I mean? There's no university degree for, you know, being a truck driver. That's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So I think it's a waste. I think a lot of students are being pushed in a direction that is unhealthy for them, and they're being pushed in a direction that they don't even want to go. They're just being pushed there because the universities want, you know, more money, basically. So that is one thing I really wish I would have known at 17. That college, college. I mean, if you don't go to college, it's not the end of the world. It's not like your life is going to totally collapse and all of a sudden you become a loser. That's just not the case anymore. Maybe in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, but now it's not the case. There are plenty of people out there with a high school diploma who are absolutely killing the game, making tons of money. I mean, we live in Lafayette, Indiana here. There's a Subaru factory right across.
There's a ton of factories in Lafayette.
These guys are making
Tons.
$120,000 to $150,000 a year doing factory labor. I mean, they work hard, but I mean, that's twice as much as anyone at
and good benefits.
Exactly.
Great benefits at most any factory. I mean,
Exactly.
you're gonna have, like, your family's gonna be taken care of, and
But that's-
everything's
For sure. They have fantastic benefits, but
You know what else I would have wished I would have known when I was in high school? The importance of family time. My
agreed.
parents were always like, you can stay home this weekend, Hope. Hang out with your family. You stay here. Make sure you're home for dinner at 5 o'clock. And I was always like, who cares? I don't want to do that. And my parents really were like, you need to do this. And now I see this as an adult with a family, how precious that time is and that bond is, because if you don't have that, like, who do you have? And so I think that is also a very critical point, that yes, your friends are important and establish those bonds, but also make sure you keep the bonds and the lanes open with your family as well.
Agreed.
See, that's one of our big deal. Our family time is cattle shows. Like this weekend, we just got through the big cattle show. It's not only
important for you guys to be
family
together.
time, but it's not just family time. It's also where all of our friends are at. Tyler's best friend shows cattle with him. I mean, that's the core of his friends. And, you know, everybody thinks that all these cattle shows, you go to this stuff and they don't understand it. There's tons of money that's spent And we've actually had, I was talking to another friend of mine today, and she goes, you know, I got a friend that lives in another town and doesn't understand this whole cattle show thing. It's stupid. And she looked at her and goes, well, it might be stupid to you, but these kids are learning responsibility, taking care of the animals. These animals rely on you. She goes, well, you know, since you're talking about something that's stupid, and that this isn't aimed at any particular whatever extracurricular, but she goes, you know, your kids do all these dance competitions. And I'm not singling that out. That's just what she used as an example. And it was quite humorous. And it was one of those, you know, that's all about me from her perspective. But yet you look at these cattle shows, these people, I mean, you spend thousands upon thousands of dollars just to buy an animal to go show it every other weekend, the hair care, the time. Tyler, how much time do you spend a week
products.
working with?
Think about the products you guys spend. Think about how
Pardon me?
much your trimmer costs. Think about how much the soap.
Oh, hey, trimmer. Who's your trimmer, Tyler?
Mr. James.
And who?
Oh, I help a lot.
He's learning that right there.
The trimming.
These trimmers get anywhere from $200 to $250 a head at a cattle show to trim something. He's learning how to do it himself. Fair time comes, he'll be having kids asking him
There you
to
go.
trim a calf. He charges like $20 to touch one up. But you know what? There he is. He's learning something somebody else isn't willing to do. But there's competition when you go into that show ring. You know, everybody's shooting for that jackpot money when you walk out of there, placing higher in each class or whatever. But when everybody walks out, they're right there next to the other person, helping clean that calf up, get the hairspray, for lack of better words, out of it. And there was an instant Friday night that there was I'm just going to say it, a wild ass heifer drug a kid through the barn.
Oh God.
It's not funny, but it's funny.
It could have been really ugly. Really ugly.
It's pretty ugly. Yeah.
Anyway,
Poor kid. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
people come out of the woodwork to grab an 800-pound heifer that was running wide open down the alleyway. And the thing was, that heifer walked into the building, no problem whatsoever, hit a pile of manure on the asphalt, went down and came up a different animal, for lack of better words, mentally.
Yep.
You know, you talk about control and everything else. That kid that was hanging onto that heifer when she went ripping down through there took out 4 of them butt fans, you know, you see at the fair, the fans blow air on it, took 4 of those out,
God.
2 blower stands with the blowers, and he finally let go before he hit a 400-pound choke box.
Oh my gosh. He's holding on for dear life.
Yeah, I'm glad he's not concussed or severely broken. Yeah.
Oh, you want to see that kid right now?
Probably black and blue. Oh, is that really, Tyler? Come on, get a hold of your. Come on.
You want to see that kid right
You
now?
want to see that kid?
I really
Come
totally
on.
was not expecting
I was
that.
not expecting that either. You set me up for that. Come on, Tyler. I'm just kidding. No, I totally get it.
It hurt a lot.
Was she pissed? I'm sure she was. Beyond pissed. Yeah. Cattle are unforgiving. Yeah.
You haven't showed cattle. You know the deal with that. 800 pounds of heifer.
They don't
First
care.
cycle. Hang on, baby.
Oh, they don't care where they go. They're just. I mean, whatever is the nearest object, they're just gonna throw you into it. They just don't.
3 letters.
Oh,
There's 3 letters.
Yeah.
Key. CHI. If you have that and a calf, you're screwed.
Exactly. Exactly. Cattle are mean sometimes, but I think you mentioned something earlier. It was competition. I think that's one thing that I wish I would have known when I was 17 as well. Is that competition is something that should not be taken lightly. I think we have lost the ability to compete with each other in a healthy way. I think that
And remain friends after.
Exactly. I think competing and having a differing opinion with someone are 2 very important things that I wish I would have known at 17. Just because you disagree or you are competing with someone.
What we see in these cattle shows all the time.
Exactly.
Varying opinions. You got one judge versus another one. You know, one person might like the way this animal is trimmed up and the way it looks with its hair all done the way it is. Next person, I don't like that. I don't like this. But you know what? At the end of the day, everybody pats each other on the back and learns something. Perfect strangers will walk by you when you're getting your calf ready to go to the show ring. Hey, good luck. Good luck. That's what competition should be all about.
I think competition is slowly starting to fade away. I think more participation trophies are being. I really hope this isn't true, but I from what I can tell, I think more participation trophies are being handed out instead of first, second, third place.
They don't want to make anyone feel feel
No,
bad. You know,
I
when we
think-
lost our baseball tournament,
Yeah.
so suck it up. Better luck next time.
I think that's a problem. I think that's a serious problem with our society, because I think competing with other people makes you a better person, makes you a better, and especially in the business world, competing is all you do. You are competing on a daily basis. And so
here's one thing I always try to remind my kids: not everybody can win
Exactly.
all the time. And guess what? There is such thing as first place. There is someone that's going to beat you out of the job. There is someone that's going to get first in the race. There is someone that is going to get the answers on the test and hand it in before you. That is the reality of life. It doesn't mean you suck. It just means there's going to be someone ahead of you, but there's always going to be people behind you as well. So it's a healthy skill to
Yeah.
have.
I think
to
coping
make
with it is the best.
yourself.
The best
Yeah,
ability
and
is to be able to cope
look
with it.
back at yourself and
Yeah.
go, what can I learn from this? What's going to motivate people to do better? We're all going to be on food stamps.
Exactly.
You know, why
I-
try in
That's
life?
true.
Because I'll be rewarded for not.
I think having a healthy relationship with other people that you disagree or compete with is something that we have lost, especially in the generation after mine and after Generation Z. I think people have, especially in politics, not that we're going to get into that, but I think politics and other competitive scenarios, people have lost the ability to disagree or compete with each other in a civil and respectful way. I know that we compete with a lot of other Chrome shops. Hope, I'm sure there are other yoga places around where you
Oh, hell
are.
yeah.
I mean, Jerry, I'm sure there's other cattle companies, and Bill, I'm sure there's other tankers out there, and you guys have to compete with them on a daily basis. But it's not like we're going up to their trucks or up to their facilities or whatever they're doing saying, hey, F you, you know, we hate you guys or whatever. That's not how it is. Competition is about who is the best, and that's who wins. It's not about, you know, who can, you know.
And I'll tell you what, the
yeah.
people that get there are the ones that have also been taught more life skills, I believe, because they're the ones that are more resilient. You know how many times I've been beat out by other people, or they knew more than I did? You know what it made me do? Go back and learn more. Go back
Exactly.
and try harder. Go back and say, what am I missing? What am I doing wrong? And that's why I kept moving forward. There's a healthy aspect to also failing.
Agreed.
Like, you got to fall flat on your face. My parents literally watched us squander as kids, and I mean, I'm sure they would probably be in jail, and if this was this time, you know, if it was go backwards 15
for sure.
years, but they knew that we would never learn otherwise. We had to
100%.
figure it out for ourselves.
Well,
I think falling down is probably one of the biggest. I think people, especially, you know, I keep talking about this, but younger generations are afraid to fail, are afraid to make a mistake, when in reality, making a mistake can be the biggest blessing ever. It really shows you what you are capable of, what your failings are, what you need to improve on, and how you can get better. And I think taking the right action after you fail, and, you know, I messed up. I was not good enough to do this. I need to go improve myself, is something that we've lost, especially in younger generations, is they don't have that self-reflection of, hey, I'm not good enough to do this. I need to do something about this, or I'm going to be screwed. So that's another thing I wish I would have known at
That way
17.
with what I do, we get paid a commission. Not only do I drive, but I'm also a buyer.
You're right.
As far as for cattle, we've got a salary plus commission.
It's all monetary for you, isn't it? Yeah.
If our cattle don't make grade what we bought them at, we don't get commission on that animal. So there you are. You have to get better at what you're doing. You have to have the drive and the desire to learn more every day.
Yeah.
Every cow that comes through there, you've got to push yourself to be better, to be more competitive.
Agreed.
Well,
That's
and I
what
feel like
people
going back to
do
the sorry, Jerry. Going back to the social media part too, like when you're cutting out that natural ebb and flow of life, of like falling down or failing and succeeding, like when you cut that out and replace it with like this
Constant
unnatural
successes. Yeah,
like
constant
social
successes.
media
Yeah.
fake
Lots of
like
filters.
Yeah, filters and success,
overdone.
yeah.
It's either like, I feel like they're making it too like polarized with like, it's either black or white. You're either
100%.
like super like insta famous, or you're nothing. Like,
you're
and
nothing,
and
yeah,
I
exactly.
feel like that's why
That's
they
just
try
not
to
how life is.
compensate it, you know.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, if you're cutting that out, like there's no natural way for that to
It's a combination
take
of
place.
I
It's
think
the
it's
fake
setting
world. Yeah.
people up too to think that unless they're at that hyper successful point, then they're always failing. So if I
Yeah.
have a $50,000 job, you know, a couple years in or whatever, oh, I really suck because I'm not making six figures. So being as a business entrepreneur, and I do some business coaching and stuff, so of course Facebook realizes that, and I can't tell you the number of Facebook ads I get in my feed. You know, quit your 9 to 5, work for yourself. okay, please, people listen to me. Not everybody is meant to be a business owner. Okay.
Correct.
So you don't go and quit your job because Sally said on Facebook that she did, and in a year she made multiple 6 figures.
Right.
Like, there's a lot more to that story.
Yeah.
And
That
it
is
also
not
might be
indicative
a
of what
rarity.
happened.
And
Yeah.
she might be a scam too. So also pay attention
Agreed.
to that. Like,
Life is tougher than you think it is. That's what I wish I would have known at 17 as well.
yes,
Is life is
yes.
much more
And
difficult
people
than
lie,
it is.
okay?
Yes. Yeah.
people are not honest.
I think there's this philosophy that once you get out of university and you have your degree that your life just falls into place. No.
Okay, so
It
when I
just
was in high
starts.
school
It
and
just
maybe more
starts.
Middle school, I literally remember thinking in my bed, how will I be an adult? How do I get a house? How do I like marry someone? How do we move in together? Like, how
They
do we,
don't
like,
teach you that, do they?
Like,
And not
I,
they
like,
don't teach you
was
that.
So clueless.
How do I
on
do
it,
my
like,
taxes?
anxiety over it.
How do
And
I
that was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
live normal life?
I think that's something that I really wish I would have known at 17 is that life is harder than you think it is, and to be honest with you, no one's on your side but you, right? Like, I mean, I think another thing that I wish I would have told myself is bet on yourself. You know what I mean? Like, bet on yourself, and entrepreneurship and business and life is not a walk in the park. You don't just get to go to work, 8 to 5 and just live a happy life and all of a sudden have this huge house. It's just not like that. That's not how life is. That when I was 17, I had this ideal that, all I had to do was go to college and I get a job, and then all of a sudden I had this fairy tale life it's just not the case. So
I thought I'd be like, I was like, oh, I'm going to get married when I'm 23. Then I'm going to
Yeah.
have 2
That's a big
children
thing,
by the
yeah.
time I'm this age. Then and females and males also have different,
Totally
like,
different, I would agree, yeah.
expectations of what, like, there's like all these ages, like, oh, by this age you should have accomplished this much. By this age you should have accomplished this much.
Agreed.
It's like,
Yeah,
there's
they
no
kind of view
set
like a-
scale there.
it's almost like a false plan of like, oh yeah, by 25 I'm gonna have 3 kids or whatever. I was like, no, that's not how. This is not how it works.
yeah.
Okay, life works in mysterious and very interesting ways, and honestly, where you end up is part fate, part hard work, part
Whatever else.
It's whatever. I mean, seriously, it's like I think people plan their stuff out too much. You know what I mean? They plan out how their life's going to be.
There's all
And
these
That's what-
expectations.
it's
Social
all
media,
expectations.
too.
It's all
Like, I
expectations.
wish
Social
I
media,
wouldn't have-
exactly. It's all social
I wish
media.
I wouldn't have cared so much about what other people think.
Exactly,
Like,
yes.
I had an eating disorder. I had all that other stuff that went with that because I cared way too much about what other
Yeah.
people thought. Like, I was always thinking they were judging me.
Right.
Like, who the F cares? Like, seriously,
Exactly.
the people that are successful are the people that don't give a flying bleep
Yeah.
what other people think of them, and they do it anyways. That's the successful people.
Right.
I mean, seriously, I wish I finally have learned that in my 30s, late 20s. I wish I would have known that 10 years
Exactly.
ago. I would have made so much more risks. I would have done things so much faster, but I was so paranoid about other people all the
This
time.
comes back to the social media thing. I think it comes back to expectations and what people expect of you instead of what is reality. I really, after high school and college, I don't think anyone cares. I think everyone's kind of doing their own thing. You know what I mean? You kind of build your own life outside of that. And I think the social media aspect of the world and of life right now is kind of diluting people's thoughts of this is how my life should be, or this is how it should be. No, just go do your thing. Just go do your thing. I mean, that's what I wish I would have known at 17. And that's kind of it. I mean, I wish I would have known that people are not looking at your life. They have their own stuff to do. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's busy and
everyone isn't
Yeah,
out to get you either.
no,
Like,
no,
I
no,
think
no.
as you get older, the more like people are genuinely
Yeah.
happy for whatever is making you happy. Like, that's also something you learn as an adult. Like, I feel like
yeah, even if it's like butterflies or entomology,
yeah, it's like, you know what?
weird
I'm
stuff.
glad that you're happy about what you're doing. I think
Yeah.
that
And
becomes
if they are, then pray for them, because then they have some major issues
Exactly.
internally.
Yeah.
In 100 million years.
That's the reality. And it's not about you. I always tell my students and my kids, whatever people say to you and do to you is actually reflection back onto
On them.
that is
Exactly.
exact. I live by that. I
Exactly.
live by that.
Or
Exactly.
they wish someone would do that for them, or whatever it is always a mirror. So mirror, mirror on the wall, what is it telling you best of all? I mean,
Yeah.
seriously.
Just
I wish
exactly.
everyone would think about that in the course of a day, and the nasty things they tell people, or the over caring, overbearing, over smothering. You must be looking for that in your life. And I say that with kindness because that was my reality check 10
Yeah.
years ago, and that changed my entire life.
Yeah, people's opinion of you does not dictate your reality. You know what I mean? Just because someone doesn't like you doesn't mean that it's going to change your life. You know what I
And
mean?
you can
It's-
only control you.
You can only
can't
control what you
control
say.
anybody else's actions or
write that down on the
anything.
list. Another thing that I wish I would have known at 17.
Yeah,
You can only control your actions and your thoughts Everyone else and what they think of you does not matter. You can't change a dang thing about what they say or what they think. As long as you are happy, as long as what you're doing is righteous in some way and not illegal, just go do it. You know what I mean? I mean, righteous and illegal. I don't know what kind of grounds those are, but you know what I mean. So just don't worry about what people think.
Think about it, Dave and Bill and Jerry and everybody. How many things did you do that you like waited 6 months, a year, 2 years, even like a couple weeks, and you said to yourself, "Gosh, if I only would have did that sooner." And the reason why you didn't do it was because you were afraid of somebody else or someone else's reaction or someone else's experience.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm really curious because every single thing, I can list out everything I wish I would have done earlier, and it was all because I was like, ooh, what if this, what if that? Like, I wish I would have just said F it and did it anyways.
For sure.
I 100%.
Take chances. It don't matter what you do in this world. If you don't take a somewhat foolish chance once in a while, you're going to go through life wondering. And sometimes you're going to take a chance and come out the loser.
I think.
Bill, tell us about one thing that you have done that you wish you would have known sooner. That was kind of like a big risk. If you want to share, if you wouldn't mind sharing.
I'll tell you something. I like playing with the stock market a lot.
And it looks like you're on the toilet right now.
I am on the toilet right now.
Little side story about that.
I just wanted to throw it out there.
I'm in a hotel bathroom having a cigarette. Good for your health. Here, I'll get back here on the counter. It'll look better. But I like dabbling in the stock market here a while back. I had a penny stock I'd bought into, and all the forward-looking projections looked really good, and I was really excited. Got into it pretty low, sunk about $5,000-7,000 of our money in it. And we're working people. That's a lot of money to sink into something. Really excited. Well, during the course of this, waiting on it to go up, it didn't move. I've seen another one that looked pretty good. Cashed that one out, took all the money, rolled over into the other one. That company turned out to be a fraud. The first one I was involved with went up, and we'd have made about $60,000 on our $5,000 investment. Had I stayed about another week. And it's one of them deals. You can call that losing. I don't say it as losing. I see it as not winning. But hey, it's a chance you got to take.
Yeah, I think.
If I just had a little more faith in myself and hung in a little bit longer, it'd have been great.
I think betting on yourself is something that students and people that are of the generation after me, younger than I am, have a hard time doing. I think betting on yourself and becoming an entrepreneur is becoming less and less popular. I think the universities and other platforms and other careers.
It seems more stable too.
Yeah,
it seems like more of like
stability,
a solid, like,
yes.
oh yeah, this is, if I get this degree, then XYZ will happen after. And it's
Exactly.
like, you know what? Not
Instead
always.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I don't know if you guys know who Gary Vee is, but I'm a big Gary Vaynerchuk fan. Gary Vee says, I mean, you only have one life, and that's something that really hit me a couple years ago. It's like this is a one-time thing. We are a one life kind of population here. We're not going to do this again. So take your chances, do what you want to do, and go take a chance, right? Especially.
I always like to think of how many people do you know on your deathbed, their deathbed, not your deathbed, their deathbed, and they say, oh, I'm so happy, whatever. They're always saying, I wish I would have. So my reminder is always like, I don't want to be that person that is sitting on my bed when I'm old and going, I wish I would have traveled more. I wish I would have taken that risk and quit my job then. Or I wish I would have said yes to that opportunity. Or I wish I would have let my kids do this. I mean, am I wrong? I mean, I know so many people that have passed in the last couple of years,
Agreed.
and those are the things that they're saying.
Happens every day.
I think regretting things and regrets is one of the biggest things I wish I would have known at 17 as well. Is that regretting something is more painful than not doing it. Does that make sense? Like, or regretting not doing it is more painful than doing it and failing. How about that?
Yes. And you learn a lot more from doing it and failing or doing it and succeeding than not doing it at all, period. So either way you win. I mean, really.
Exactly. I think you learn a lot.
All the failures I've made, I've ended up winning in the long run anyway. So it's never been a loss.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
I think this generation don't have that.
What's your opinion of success now? At 17 years old, what's your opinion of success or anything else? Now let's get your perspective.
Yeah, you're 17. Please tell us.
Yeah,
give us some insight.
Tell us what
Enlighten us, old people.
Yeah.
Yeah, enlighten your old man on this one. Like,
I guess. How about this? Here's the question.
What's important to you right now?
Yeah. What do you want to
let's
do?
hear it.
Where do you see yourself in 25, 30 years? Where would you like to see yourself in 10 years? How about that?
There you go. Where do you want to be in 10 or 15? Where do you want to be in 10, 20, 30 years? And when you're my age?
If I
Give
can't
you
do
some
that,
perspective. We're talking 27, 35,
Yeah.
38, somewhere around there.
working around cattle, that's about it.
Does that make you happy? Is that what you? I mean, is that really what? Regardless of the money, because I know that money comes into a lot of things, and
It's
okay, so regardless of money, you would still want to work with cattle.
yeah, like that's my passion. Like if I'm in the barn, usually that's how I get stuff off my mind.
Yeah.
Like that's how I don't know.
Stick with it, then.
That's
Seriously,
good. Yeah, that's great.
seriously.
You found that young too.
You don't understand. Like when you become an adult, you have to do a lot of things. That's another thing I wish I would have known at 17 is you have to do a lot of things that you don't like doing, and you have to do them anyway. Like no one cares if you don't like
And
them.
every job
Yeah.
has them.
Exactly. You have to do it
Every
anyway.
Job has them. Here's one thing I tell my kids all the time. So I believe that we're all born with a purpose and also with a talent. Like we all have something that we're innate drawn to, something that we're good at. And if we can discover that, like my goal as a parent is I want my kids to discover what they're good at. Like already I know my older son Harper loves business and loves money. My daughter has always been into art and music from day one. My son Ivan, he's just a worker. He wants to pound nails and have a hammer and do all those things.
There you
That's
go.
from day one. And as a parent, it's my job to zone in on that and go, okay, let's see if we can like draw that out in all different areas of life. Because what I'm doing now, I love speaking as a kid. I loved writing as a kid. I was always joking around and trying to be funny and make people laugh and do all these things. It's exactly what I'm doing now.
Exactly.
Okay, it's exactly what I'm doing now in adult form. So if someone would have been like, hey, Hope, like, what are you drawn to as a teenager? What is your talents? Like, what are you really like enjoy doing? And if someone says baseball, okay, if they're flipping awesome, let them go pursue that. My cousin is an amazing golfer. At 3 years old, he was hitting golf balls farther than some of the pros were. I mean, unbelievably good. Like people that want to be a pro,
The next
he
Tiger
was like
Woods.
kicking their pants off.
That's
So
crazy.
now he is a
I love
golf
golf.
pro/pro golfer out in California, and also helps like bring really bad golf courses back up into the top 10.
That's awesome.
What he
That's
does.
awesome.
That's awesome.
At 3 years old, you guys, he knew what he wanted to do, and his parents like constantly gave him opportunities to pursue that in all ways, shapes, or form.
Agreed.
And now look at him. I mean, come on, seriously, we have to start thinking as parents too. It's not just about the kids, it's also on the parents. Like, it is your job to guide these kids. It is your job to show them and also pull that out of them. It's not the school system's job. It's not the church's job. That's your job. And I see as a parent now, so many people, kids are a check marks in a box. I had kids next. And I'm not
That's
trying to
what's
insult
cool.
people, so please no nasty emails because I'm not going to respond. But
That's what's
but my
cool about
point
what I
is
do.
that these are real human beings that you have to be accountable for and you have to guide. I don't care how busy you are. And if you're too busy, then you're too busy to have kids. And you should have thought about that before. But now you got them. So, I mean, come on. That's for me, that is so important as a parent. That is my job. And if I can't do that, I failed. Not the school system, me as a parent. I have
Agreed.
failed.
Agreed.
That's the beautiful part about what I do. The guy that I work for, I get to work next to my own son now.
Yeah.
And this is what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do when I got out of high school. But thanks to, we'll just leave it at what it is. Back to the late 70s, early 80s, we're not good to the agricultural world. That's why we did
1776.
Did my time there. Played the owner-operator game for quite a long time. Almost 20 years I was an owner-operator. And I finally got an opportunity. Somebody threw me the opportunity, saw some potential in me, could help take his business further. And as a result of that, my son actually was showing cattle for him before that. Now we work side by side, getting run over, run down, and everything else.
Yeah. That
And
sounds
everything
fun.
else. Well, there's nothing better. Yeah, and if there's anything I can encourage a parent to do, if you have an opportunity, just bring your kid to work deal. Hey, it's a great idea, but allow your kid to work with you, not go to work with you, but work with you. If you're self-employed, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're a janitor in a janitorial service. Take your kid with you. Let him see what it's all about. They might take some pride in whatever they decide to do. That's the best part of my job now, because not only do I get to be a dad, but I feel like one of his best friends. We work together.
Aw,
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
that really
Here we
was
are.
cute.
Here we are out here chasing cattle together.
Is he crying now? Oh, I thought maybe you're
Tears,
He's
tears, yeah,
crying.
tears.
So nice.
Aw, so sweet.
All
So
right.
sweet.
It's
That's
awesome.
where
Do you
why?
like working with your dad? Do you like working with your dad?
Yeah.
Why?
It's
Come on.
my head doesn't process stuff.
Oh,
very
get
fast.
out of here. Stop playing that. You know,
He's just being a big hard
He
guy.
sent me a text and said he likes working with his dad because he can sucker his dad into doing all the work.
Oh shit.
Bill's always getting people in trouble.
Yeah, Bill's a snitch.
no,
God
no, truthfully, what do you like about working with me?
That I can give you crap.
damn. That's
Real
a-
life answer.
That's an essential part of work.
That goes on. There's a lot of that goes on.
Have a good
It
time.
is, but it's still
Yeah.
it's still respectful, and that's going to be part of the fun about having even a show with Tyler. You know, who knows where this is going to go with him and me?
New barn words.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
excited. I think you guys are gonna have fun because you have a bunch of shows this summer, don't you?
Oh, we go ahead, T.
They're mainly in the spring. I might go to a couple jackpots in the summer, but
Explain
here
what that
soon
is, by the way.
Every week at the show.
We started showing cattle this show season. We started Thanksgiving weekend, and then 3 weeks later we had a show in Columbus. We participated in the Ohio Best program sponsored by the Ohio Cattlemen's Association.
Right.
They've been averaging about 500 to 550 head of cattle, about half heifers and half steers or half market animals.
Do you guys
They-
have Congress over there, like beef Congress?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The Beef Expo.
Yeah.
It's late March. That's the big one.
Yeah.
Okay, we have it here in Indiana. It's the Indiana Beef Congress, so I just wanted to see what you guys had over there. But
Well, in fact, what was it, last weekend or 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago. You went over for the
2 weeks
beef.
ago.
It was called the Beef Bowl, the Ohio Cattlemen's Association, where they took youth in. They all took written quizzes, and then they did like a Jeopardy style of like pop question deal.
that sounds
and
fun.
you guys didn't do too bad. I mean,
No, there was a lot of snow, so there was a lot of teams that couldn't make it because they were with school.
but you guys were in a running to beat the other
Yeah.
team,
you
but
go.
somebody wasn't quick enough. And it was a 4-person team.
Yeah.
For each age group, and he was one of the kids that got to represent the county.
Nice.
They searched him out and said we need somebody else. So
There you go. That sounds fun to me, honestly. That sounds like a good time. But we have now talked about what I wish I would have known for 15 minutes at 17. So yeah, there's a lot of things I wish I would have
I
known.
could
at 17.
go
I was
on
gonna
for, like,
say
4 more
I
hours.
still like 4 or 5 more things that I could definitely tell my 17-year-old self and be like, "Hey, you idiot! Like,
Get it together.
get it together!" Yeah. But yeah, man, 17 was an interesting time. It was fun. It was great to be carefree, and you know the world is a great place when you're 17, 18 years old, and then you get into university and college, and everything's becomes very real very quickly, and bills and all that kind of stuff. So
You know what's kind of interesting? You know how like, okay, juniors, seniors, they go into tour colleges to like figure out what they want to do. Like, what if instead high schoolers were touring soup kitchens and homeless shelters and free daycare facilities because there's so many people that need that kind of stuff because they had kids not thinking.
Right.
I mean, like all these different things that you should be touring to maybe see what else is really going on out there and to see more of life than just touring colleges in a very isolated environment and kind
Agreed.
of living in a bubble for the next 4 years. Like, what if kids were touring, every local business that would give a yes?
Yeah.
You could literally probably get a high school to do one a month or one every other, bi-monthly or something, touring the job facility.
Agreed.
And like literally give us the skinny. What really do they do every single day? Like, how many kids could shadow a real job in your local area, and how many kids might actually find that they actually like something that they didn't know, but also just seeing reality, real reality. Because now your reality is delayed another 4 years because you're in school and you think that normal jobs, you're sleeping until 11 and then you only have school whatever days a week and then you go and do, that's not real life. And so what if we actually saw more of what that actually looked
Agreed.
like?
We need
And
to do
not
some
just
Chrome
in a
Shop
play
tours.
class at school.
Yeah, I think we are delaying students' realities. I agree with going to university. I think they're being it's not a good thing to have them outside of the workforce or to have them outside of the real world, until they're 22 years old. I think that's probably not a good idea. So
a lot of jobs they can't even get a job until a lot of jobs they're not even allowed to do things in what they consider the industrial world until they're 18 years old. Tyler last year, one of the guys that runs a local feed mill here in town, grain elevator feed mill. They mix feed, and you know what? There's science involved with that, mixing the feed for livestock, cattle, hogs, and everything else. But they said we can't hire him until he's 18 years old because a grain elevator is labeled as an industrial facility.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. But
once again,
dumb, but yeah.
Once again, I survived it at that age. Bill survived it at that age, playing in that world. It I don't know, maybe it's just become too much of a society with too much litigation and
we've foam padded everything.
Nowadays.
Yeah, we've kind of foam padded everything and made it so that everything is you messed up a little bit. It's okay. We'll just bounce you back. It's gonna be fine. It's a softer, more gradual. If you mess up, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like in this world, it's a lot more. There's less things that are going to hurt you now, and I think that's almost a bad thing. I don't want people to get hurt, but I think getting hurt is a key that opens up another thing for you. When you get hurt, when you mess up, when you do something else, you learn from it. And you're like, this sucks. This really sucks. So I'm gonna go do something about it.
You know what's interesting though too, just kind of talking a little bit about that, is what's different from when we were in 17 versus now is that kids can often feel like there are no consequences.
Correct.
Kind of wrapped into the whole everyone gets a trophy, but also on top of that is the whole social media thing, because kids can say anything and there's no repercussions. They can tell their friends that they're ugly and stupid and go kill yourself and whatever. And would they really say that to their face? That's what I always tell my kids. Like, always ask yourself, would you actually say that to someone's face? Would you want someone to say that to you? Like, think before you talk. And there's a delay in that now, if at all, because of these things.
Agreed.
So kids think they're invincible and that there's no consequences and they can get away with crap like that, and it's not acceptable and it's not okay.
Yeah, I think hiding behind a screen or a phone is something that's become more and more popular. And I mean, you can say whatever you want behind that.
People are so nitpicky about little things, and you can never make a mistake. So I write a lot, and it's like you would not believe the people that like go and find people just to attack because you misspelled a word.
Right.
Oh God! Like
the end of the world.
I am not perfect, you guys.
Well,
I misspelled the word.
The trucking industry, Bill's going to appreciate this. You just held up a smartphone. Everybody hides behind their smartphones. Our world, what are those called, Bill? CB Rambos. CB Rambos. Come get you some, boys.
Yeah, I think, and that's a lot of the trucking industry. I'm not going to call anybody out or whatever, but it's like, I think a lot of the trucking industry, because when I say you guys, I mean the industry as a whole, everyone is so spread out, and everyone's on by themselves all the time. They enjoy talking shit on the internet. You know what I mean? That's kind of a thing in the trucking industry. And it's like, come on, guys. Like, I think social media has developed an attitude of, I can say whatever the hell I want to say because I'm behind a screen, but I would never, no one would ever say that to your face. You know what I mean? So that's
it's still with the fake.
Here's the irony though. Everyone will say what they want to say, but at the same time, you can't say what you want to say.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
You can't say what you want to say because you might hurt someone.
Exactly.
And the sticks and stones may break my bones thing. Words will never hurt me. Like, I always gave my mom the middle finger about that, but I get it now. Like, you have to realize, like, just because someone says that doesn't mean you have to interpret that for yourself equally as much. You can't say shit like all like that. Like, come on, people. Like, you just can't.
100% agreed.
That's the beautiful thing about working cattle. If you heard the language that went on, no, I'm not proud of the language we use. We're running cattle through there. But you know what? We don't mean it. We walk out there, give each other a hug. But you know what? Adrenaline's flowing. Things are flying. It's kind of funny.
There's a saying when you're working cattle. It's sorry for what I said when I was working them, because it's bad some days.
The cattle will. I guarantee you, cattle could make the Pope cuss. Guarantee it.
But that's
Any
the
animal,
reality of like the in the moment type of deal. And my husband's in construction, and it's like they swear at each other and curse at each other all the time, but they know it is in that environment, and it's just in that moment, and there's an understanding that they don't hate them, and they're still gonna go eat lunch together in the truck. Like,
I think people nowadays just need to have a little bit thicker skin. And not be
well, I'm going to disagree with you on this one, Tyler, because of a couple reasons, okay? I think that everyone needs to be able to empathize better with other people, and that's something that I was not very good at when I was 17. I did not empathize with other people's struggles until I was an older, grown man. I did not realize what other people were going through until I had to go through something very difficult myself. Does that make sense? So like when you don't know what someone is going through on a daily basis. You don't know their life. You don't know their struggle. You don't know what's going on at home. You don't know what's going on work. Okay. So people break, people, yell, people. I mean, I am just as bad as anybody. I've yelled at people. I've cussed people out. I've been an asshole. I've been plenty of different things. Okay. But it comes back to that is not who I am. Okay. That is not who any of us are. Okay. In certain moments we are weak and we say things that we don't mean, but being able to empathize with someone else and say like, I know you didn't mean that. I know you were just angry. I know you don't really feel that way is something that you learn as a grown up. You're like, I know you didn't mean that. Okay. I'm not going to be mad at you because I know that you were in a tough situation. I know what you're going through or I don't know what you're going through at home. And I know that everyone has a different situation. So I think as you get older, you start to empathize with people more and start to realize everyone has it tough, man. I mean, for the majority of us out here, everyone is working hard. Everyone is doing something. Everyone has their own thing. Everyone's, if it's a parent, if it's a child, if it's work, whatever it is, someone is dealing with something at some point in time, and everyone's struggle it impacts how they act. So I think
I have to interpret what he said as having a thick skin, as in don't take it personal.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Yeah, that's also
okay. Tyler,
I agree with that.
People do need a thicker skin.
Agreed.
And they have to realize that the things that people are saying are not necessarily directed at them. And at the end of the day, like, dude, it's not about you. Like, and if you're really passionate about it, then go out and make it a positive thing and make a positive change. So I think it's twofold. I think you have to be empathetic, but I do believe that people have thicker skin because now everyone cries uncle about the littlest thing and you're suing him and he's suing her. And now we got all these stupid laws because one person couldn't figure it out. And it's like, we do need a thicker skin. I
100%
do agree with that.
Yeah,
the old guy's perspective on that is too, kind of along that same line. Yeah, you got to empathize, but at the same time, if somebody that's got life experiences in that particular environment that you're working in gives you a pointer or something like that, you shouldn't take it personal.
Yeah,
you should step up and go, you know what, this guy's got a lot of experience at this. He's been at this for a long time. Maybe, just maybe, I ought to listen to what that guy said.
Yeah.
I might be able to learn something because even myself, being an old white-haired guy, speed up, banged around, everything else, you know what? I learn from Tyler on a regular basis. I learn with my younger coworkers as well. But at the same time, the younger guys at times need to learn when to maybe heed the advice. I read something somewhere one day that my advice doesn't cost you anything.
Right. I think that's important. Yeah, I think
because my advice is an experience that I paid for.
Yeah. I think you are 100% correct in that because I know when I was 17 years old, I thought everyone, including adults, were idiots. Okay, I thought I was the smartest person on the face of the planet. I thought I was the end-all be-all of everything that was going to happen in the world. And then I grew into an adult, and I realized, holy shit, these people know what the hell they're talking about. Like, oh my God, they've actually lived this. And so I think that's a learning process as you get older. Is wait, my parents aren't idiots. I just wasn't willing to listen. I wasn't willing to admit that they were right. So I think that's another thing. Growing up, when I was 17, I would have told myself that adults are not idiots, and they have most of the time they have the best interest for you in mind. So
and most of the time you're right.
The hardest thing for me to say. The hardest thing for me to say is, you know what? You were right.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing for anybody to say.
It's hard, yeah.
I don't care, male, female, old, young, for you to admit when somebody else is right and you were wrong. That's the hardest thing there is to do.
It is hard.
It's
so
very hard.
Do that, you're never going to get anywhere.
Yeah, agreed. 100%. So now, Tyler, that you've been educated on every single thing that you need to know as a 17-year-old, how do you feel?
Feel pretty good.
Do you? Yeah, you're going to have to watch this over and over again on repeat so you get all the lessons now. I'm just kidding.
He just thought he knew it all already. Now he really does.
He's got a lot
now
of...
you really know. Yeah.
That much bigger.
I hope you've been taking notes.
The whole time, you know what he was sitting there looking down?
At his phone?
Writing notes.
You know what he was doing?
On Instagram, Snapchat?
On his Snapchat. He was on his Snapchat.
There you go.
I knew it. I
There
could
you
tell by
go.
the way he was scrolling. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he's looking at
Just- yeah,
something.
Uh-huh.
That's all right. Hey, that's another part of
We
the thing.
forgive you, Tyler.
Yeah,
We
when you're
forgive you.
17 years old, you don't think it's whatever. When you're 17, it's whatever. It's one of those things. When you grow up, you're like, oh shit, I should have listened, but it's okay. I still love you.
I think that's part of like becoming I think that's part of it becoming an adult though. Someone said to me like, as a parent, build a boat so your kids come back to you. Like, you know, if you do a good job building the boat, they'll come back. Like,
Yep.
okay, you kind of have to let them go. I think that's like a natural process of us as humans. Like, we think we know everything, and then we realize we don't, and then we come back to the people that, you know, we're like, I'm always here for you. Hey, I don't know everything. Now will you help me? Like, get it out of the way, I guess. You know?
There's a lot of self-discovery. Yeah, a lot of self-discovery when you're going through late high school and college. It's like figuring yourself out, figuring the world out. It's a good time though. It's a good time. I'm glad I'm not 17 anymore, but I'm glad I went through my late teens, early 20s, and got through that unscathed and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that was our topic for the day. I mean, that was great, guys. That was
That was a
awesome.
good
I was gonna say we should.
Tyler, thanks for being our guinea pig.
Yeah, thank you so much for letting us give you advice all day, even though I don't know if you'll use any of it, but that's all right. It's okay.
Food for thought, either way.
But yeah, so that is what we wish we would have known when we were 17 years old. And if you, by the way, audience members, if you guys have anything else you would like to add, please add it in the comments below. If you could tell your 17-year-old self something, please put it in the comments below, like anything. If it's about relationships, school, whatever it is, put it in the comments below and we'll read it. And if we find a good one, we might retweet it or something like that. So thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to do a couple sponsors here, and we're going to talk about some shows. And let's see, we're coming up on an hour and a half, so let's see if we can wrap this up real quick. Let's talk about two sponsors. Bill, are you there?
You bet.
Do you want to talk about Davy Crockett and One Stop Truck Care?
You bet. Davy Crockett's exit 36, Interstate 81 in Tennessee. Baileytown exit's the name of the exit. But TA Travel Center, he's got an IHOP in there. Huge amount of parking, and he's putting in more. Jason Roberts that owns it, or Jason Brandon rather. I'm thinking about a friend of mine that plays music, Jason Roberts. Jason Brandon that owns it just busts his butt for the drivers. He wants everything to be driver centric, wants everything to be comfortable for drivers. He'll take advice from drivers, and great place to go. If you're coming up through there, stopping and get some fuel, get a free meal, you get 125 gallons of fuel. I don't know of many people that does that. And One Stop Truck Care at Kingsport, Tennessee. Same way, very driver centric. They're not like a lot of these shops out here that want to rip people off. They actually have 2 new tow trucks on the way at great expense to them, where they can tow drivers in, and they're just really, Vance just really looks out for the drivers. Makes me really wish I lived over closer to that part of the country to work with those guys. They're just really super guys. We're proud to have them on board.
Absolutely. So One Stop Truck Care, Bill, where was the city again? I'm sorry, Kingsport, correct?
It's Kingsport, Tennessee.
Kingsport,
Yes, sir.
Tennessee. Is there an exit near there, or do you know?
I do not know the exit right out of the top of my head.
And Dave,
it's easy enough to find there right off the interstate there.
Gotcha. So One Stop Truck Care, please go check them out. Also check out it's our Chrome and Steel Truck Stop of the Year, by the way, 2018 Chrome and Steel Truck Stop of the Year, which is Davy Crockett TA in I'm going to forget the name again of the town. Baileyton, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Exit 36, you said?
Exit 36 on
36.
Interstate 81.
Okay. Go check both of those out. Also check out Trucker Stick. Trucker Stick is a double-sided squeegee. They're one of our sponsors. Please check them out at any TA across the country. They have their blue Trucker Stick, which helps support both the Chrome and Steel Radio and also the St. Christopher's Trucker Relief Fund. I think I got that correct. Who does a whole bunch of stuff with truckers who are in need all over the country. They're a fantastic organization. Thank you to our friends over there, and thank you to Taylor Barker, who helps support that as well. Great organization. Go into TAs around the country and go get yourself a Trucker Stick. I think they're a couple bucks, and they're awesome. Honestly, I use them on my car, use them on my C10, my pickup truck, all different kinds of stuff. Fantastic Trucker Stick. So those are our 3 sponsors there.
The great thing about the trucker stick too, the person don't realize is the blades are set up where you can change them out if the blades wear out on some point down the road, or some reason if you have a little bit of an oddball sized mirror, it's a little bit wider, you know, a little bit narrower, you can cut the blade down to exactly the size of your mirror.
That's awesome.
One swipe, you got your mirror clean.
Makes it super easy, and especially because safety is becoming more and more important in the transportation industry, the trucking industry. Making sure your mirrors are clean, and so you can see everybody else. Make sure those four-wheelers are not getting in your blind spots. That's very important. So, Trucker Stick, One Stop Truck Care, and Davy Crockett TA. Please check those out. And also, I'd like for you to check out Jerry and Tyler's new show, which is Bullhaulin' BS, which is on Tuesday evenings. They're going to be streaming live, talking about cattle, talking about the trucking industry, talking about transportation and the fusion of livestock and trucking and all that kind of stuff. And they're going to have a great time. So Jerry and Tyler Novak on Tuesday evening. So make sure you check out Bullhaulin' BS. Let's see, what else do we have, Madison?
Our show tomorrow morning.
Jack and Dave show is 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Monday morning. By the way, sorry, I'm going to go off on a little tangent. The Jack and Dave show is doing a weekly truck show now, and the three hosts of the show, Jack, Dave, and Maddie, are all competing for the first place. So the truck show is going to go. We're going to do it for the next year, basically, until the end of 2019. And the winner of the truck show gets a gift card, and the loser has to do a snow angel.
In their bathing suit.
So, yeah. So I have a whiteboard behind me here with all of the points. Let me get up real quick. This right here is our whiteboard, and as of right now, we have 0 points for everyone on the team. Okay, 0, 0, 0. Our first
that equals 0.
Yeah, our first points that are going out are tomorrow morning. Okay, so I need you to go to the Jack and Dave Show episode 4.5 and vote for the red truck. Because if you don't, I'm going to lose, and I'm going to have to do snow angels in the snow outside in my bathing suit, and I really don't want to do that. So our competition is tomorrow. Check out the Jack and Dave Show, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, live on Chrome and Steel Radio. Jerry and Tyler on Tuesday. Bill and Hope, you guys are both on Thursday, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Hope, I think you are first at 9 or 10 a.m. in the morning, and you were talking about health, wellness, yoga, food. You talk about everything, honestly. Stress,
everything. And
stress,
I have my
back
next
problems.
Episode, so this Thursday, I'm talking about EMFs. So if you know anything about EMFs, electromagnetic frequency, and how that affects your sleep, and how that affects your diabetes, and how that affects how you feel mentally, and we're gonna like blow the lid off of that. So if you think like, whoa, I never heard of that, definitely tune in on Thursday. And
I haven't either. I'm gonna have to watch.
I was gonna say I'm gonna have to watch. I have no idea what that is you're talking about. But all right.
And it really affects truckers. It is super important for truckers to know what this is and know how to protect yourself and know that you can do something about this. It could be the reason why you're not sleeping. Could be the reason why your diabetes is out of control. Could be the reason why you're just kind of feeling always mentally groggy or irritable. So this is definitely something to think about, and it's there's things that you can do. So
Thursday 9 or 10.
Thursday,
I always forget.
So we're Thursday 9 Central Standard Time. So it would be 10 Eastern Time.
Gotcha. Okay, so 10 Eastern Standard Time, 9 Central. A Daily Dose of Hope. It will be on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, the website, chromeandsteelradio.com. Make sure you check that out. And later that, actually, Bill has been killing it recently with the live streams. Mr. Celebrity over here, Bill Weaver, has been crushing it. Doing an awesome job with his jam sessions on Thursdays, Mondays, Sundays, whenever he streams live. Watch out for Bill Weaver. He's playing all the different, old school trucking songs, some Merle Haggard. We got some old other country stuff from pre-70s. Bill has it down. Bill has all of his new stuff. It's fantastic. I love watching his show. Recently, actually, he went live with Carol Ann, his wife, and they killed it. Absolutely killed. Their show was amazing. Yeah. So make sure you watch Bill's show, Out on the Road show with Bill Weaver and sometimes Carol Ann. And that's normally on Thursdays, but he's streaming live, I think, every 3 or 4 days. So Bill is going above and beyond and just killing it. So make sure you watch Bill. And we have some other stuff coming up very soon in February. Go ahead, Bill. I'm sorry.
I want to try to do it every day if we can. It's just doing what we do, running oddball shifts. Sometimes you're running at night, sleeping all day, and you got to need to have light to do it. That's a big thing.
Absolutely. I know that.
I'm in a hotel down here. This weekend do one from here, but man, I'm down on my bike. I had a little fall on the ice the other day. That's why I keep getting moving around. I can't sit. I can't stand.
You need some yoga.
Oh, yikes.
It'll all
Yeah.
work out. I'll be back.
Bill,
I'll be
I
back
need
to
to
work
send you
tomorrow.
some
I get
China
time.
gel. I need to send you some China gel. You have to drop me your address and a message, and I'm gonna send you some China gel.
There you go.
Best
I'll do it.
topical pain reliever ever. I swear by it. I've been using it for like 20 years in yoga. Every one of my students swear by it. I'm gonna send you some. Drop me your address.
There you
This
go.
stuff here, I've had a appendicitis nerve, and I slipped on the ice the other day, and it just happened so fast. There was no catching myself with my arms. I mean, there was just no rest. And I landed right on the back of my right hip, where your hip bone comes out,
Ooh.
and it's.
Ouch.
I've got a place
Ouch,
about
ouch.
a third of the way up my back that I can touch, and it'll just put me on the ground. It's that tender right now.
Oh,
It'll
God.
once this inflammation goes away, it'll leave.
Yikes.
Yeah, I hope you get better.
Good news is I'm still alive. So
Yeah, thank God you're okay for the most part, and I
yeah.
hope there's no permanent anything.
it'll be fine.
But yes,
I didn't break anything, or if so, I'll find out a month from now when I finally buck up and go to the doctor.
but yes, watch Bill's show, watch his live show whenever he goes live. Follow Chrome and Steel Radio on all of our stuff. We have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also have a YouTube channel, which is Chrome and Steel Radio on YouTube. That's where we post some of our long stuff, and all of the shows are on there as well. And I would like to give a quick shout out to one of my good friends, Mr. James Tex Crowley. I'm wearing his hat right now. This is Texomatic Media. I told him I was going to wear his hat today. Make sure you check out Texomatic, Texomatic. Texomatic Media. He's an awesome guy. He does fantastic video work, and I'm hoping I can get him to do some stuff for Chrome and Steel soon, but don't let him
And
know.
can I just say too, make sure you guys, if you're listening, please share our shows. You have no idea how much that improves our reach. And so even if you didn't catch our show, share it, like
Exactly.
it. And if you love us, just show us your love anyways, even if you can't watch it till later, because that really helps us get our message out and get our shows out and continue to spread our reach. So like it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Please share it to your group, share it wherever you want. That really helps us tremendously continue to grow our network.
Absolutely. Chrome and Steel has gone through a ridiculous amount of growth recently, and we are so excited about the future. We have some, I'm not going to reveal any names, but we have some writing stuff that's coming out, possibly some blog stuff, some more shows coming. And I wanted to mention that Matt's is almost exactly 2 months away, actually. So I want you guys to keep in mind, the audience out there, that we will be at Matt's. The Chrome and Steel team will be at Matt's, and we will be there in force. So I know we're going to have a booth, or I'm pretty positive we're going to have a booth, if not a double booth, and we're going to be killing it there with live streams, possibly a yoga class that I will not be participating in. And
What? No, he's participating. All right, I'll bring you clothes.
Oh,
so you're gonna
God.
participate. Don't worry, Maddie. I got it covered.
only
I
only if Jerry and Tyler do it. Only if Jerry and
All
Tyler
right,
do it.
I'll do it. I don't know if
Yoga.
Tyler will make it. You might have to go to school.
I just want the drunk
He's got-
dog. The drunk dog
Jerry
position.
Novak, I swear to God, if I see you in a yoga suit, I'll never talk to you again.
You know what? You know what?
I'll
It's
be smart.
challenge on. If Dave does it, I'll do it.
Oh,
Then
God.
you have to.
Jesus.
Oh,
no.
I'm probably
Come on,
addicted.
Dave, peer pressure.
This
peer
is so
pressure.
much pressure.
I'm
Yeah.
calling sick, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Dave,
calling
we
it
need
sick
Chrome and
today.
Steel shirts
I
that
know.
say, "Have you seen my down dog?"
That's a great point. We will have Chrome and Steel Radio apparel. I know shirts. I think hoodies and hats and decals there. That's the plan, is to have all those there at the Chrome
Okay,
and Steel
please
Radio
tell
booth.
me that you're gonna have women's sizes too, not just unisex, because I don't
Yeah.
really do the unisex.
Yeah,
stuff.
we might do. You want to do some like pink stuff, like a
Yeah,
pink or
but,
purple?
like, can I please pre-order my sizes so that I know I get
Yes.
the size that I want?
Yes, yes. If you
For
would,
a 30%
And you
for a
go
30%
fast, like,
for a 30% surcharge, we'll do that. Hopefully.
Bill Weaver, the
remember
ever
that, Bill
businessman.
Weaver.
That's
All right.
funny. But yeah, so
And I gotta
that's
say one thing: America, eat more beef.
eat more
Yeah.
beef,
Dependent on him, so is he.
eat more beef, drink more milk. How about that?
There
Um,
you go. That's right. That's true. Drink lots more milk.
David
Lots
and
more
I
milk.
could probably keep you in business alone.
Yeah, I
We
like-
drink a lot of milk
I
here.
like milk, yeah. I know the milk industry is going through some rough times right now, so drink milk, people. Drink lots of milk.
We got to. We got to save the American farmers.
Agreed.
The American farmers are really struggling right now. The family
100%.
dairies, they're shut down right and left right now. I think Wisconsin lost 365 dairies last year, and I know our area, Western Ohio, in the first 6 months of the year, 15 family dairies shut down. That's family dairies. We're not talking mega dairies. We're talking second and third generation dairies where it'd be somebody like my dad would have started the dairy. I'd have taken it over. My son would have taken it, or my grandfather passed it to my father, to me, and the next generation, for example, Tyler, wouldn't be involved in it. And that's just one more family farm. That's what built this country, was family farms and the trucking industry, the mom and pop trucking companies.
Agreed.
That's my opinion.
100%. Ladies and gents, that's basically it. Let's do some last minute plugs. The Chrome and Steel Radio Network has a Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, which is at Chrome and Steel Radio on everything. Make sure you go to our YouTube. We're going to be doing some really cool specials here over the summer, especially for mats that you can only get on YouTube. And we also have a website, which is chromeandsteelradio.com. So please go to that and subscribe to our website so you can get emails when we post anything new. We're also going to be bringing in a new blog section where people are going to be writing, not only just doing this video kind of stuff, but we're going to have a second medium, which is going to be blog posts. So make sure you subscribe to that so you can get all those ASAP. Another thing is the hosts that we have here, Tyler and Jerry, Hope, and Bill, all have their own social media and stuff like that. If you guys want to plug your stuff, Jerry, do you want to go first?
Well, I've got my own personal page. I'm pretty selective.
Do you want people to add you?
Me with something that's just developed. It's just Jerry
So
Novak.
I might not make the cut. I might not get friended.
I didn't say that. Don't create a new one today or last week and expect me to get it. It better look legit. Better be.
There you go.
But also, hey, if I can plug something else, Dave, while I'm at it, talking about mats. Also, June 8th or not June. My God, I'm in the wrong year.
August
9th and 10th. August 9th and 10th of this year, Springfield, Ohio, Clark County Fairgrounds. It'll be the second annual Buckeye Invitational Truck Show. Last year it was a new venue and a new name. Myself and some other guys, going on 4 years, we started a little truck show. It was wouldn't it be cool if, and it's kind of grown into what it is. It's also going to be in conjunction with the F1 boat racing series. Has actually got a big drag boat deal going on the same weekend as a truck show. And
I'll be there for the boats.
So
I'm just kidding.
We'll see how that develops.
Yeah, Buckeye Invitational Truck Show. We got some of my favorite Peterbilt of all time was at the Buckeye Invitational Truck Show. If I would have not gone to the Buckeye Invitational Truck Show, I would have not met Brian Montgomery and his fabulous, absolutely perfect Peterbilt 379. It's on our Instagram. It's everywhere. It's fantastic. Anyway, so
you know what's funny? He built that truck the same time I built my 1989.
Yeah,
that truck is about a 92 model Peterbilt. That truck used to be silver and blue, and now it's high gloss black, and that baby works every day.
It's my favorite. I think it is my favorite Peterbilt, favorite truck, honestly, probably of all time. It's the best.
Ooh, coming from a K-Dub guy.
I'm a W900A guy. I'm an A model guy. So coming from me,
I'm going to get him on the show sometime.
Do it. Yeah, see, exactly. Yeah. Get him to come on the Jack and Dave show. Well, that's all we talk about is Chrome. Him and I can have a.
I'll get a hold of him.
There you go, Brian. If you're out there, hello, come on the show. Hope, please let us know where your social media stuff is for your show, for Mother Trucker Yoga. Let us know everything.
Yeah. So any of my personal stuff, Hope Zavara or Daily Dose of Hope is pretty much my hashtag.
Can you spell that?
Everything. I have a Facebook page, Hope Zavara. You can check me out. Share a bunch of health stuff, yoga tips, stretching, you name it, inspirational stuff. That's all my jam. You can friend me on Facebook. As long as you look legit and not creepy and scary, and you don't send me a message and ask me to come over or weird things, I'll friend you. That's cool. You would not believe the shit I get. Oh my God, please, if you're that kind of person, save your time.
Just stay away. Yeah.
And if you're from Zimbabwe or whatever, no, that's not my thing either. But you can also Mother Trucker Yoga. We have a Facebook page and a YouTube page, and we also have a website. So check us out. I'm constantly giving truckers ideas and tips and tricks to be able to live healthier on the road, de-stress, all that stuff that's really important to keep you employed and happy and sane.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you be a vehicle of that.
Health is important. You guys want to live a long time and not be in pain all the time. Definitely watch Hope's show and all of her stuff. Everywhere Like Her, everything. Her show is on Thursday. Make sure you watch it in the mornings.
And hey, let us know too, one more thing. Let us know too on Facebook or Twitter or wherever if you would like to have a Chrome and Steel yoga class.
Let's do it.
If you would like to have one live where you guys can participate and ask questions and we can do our jam, whether you want it more like truck style or an actual class or a core class, Functional movement and core is kind of my specialty. So what do you want to work on? What do you want to focus on? Like, let's do this. I'm here to help, and I'd love to do it.
Let's do a yoga class in a truck stop. Let's do it.
Yeah,
And a
let's,
TA.
I think would be awesome. Like, my
so
thought
funny.
was always, I'd love to go to the truck stops where they have gyms and like it's a
Yeah.
ghost town with like nothing going on.
Right.
Like, how about every whatever I'm there, all weekend doing yoga classes
stuff.
at such and such time. Like, I think that would be awesome.
Hey,
That would be awesome.
if you want to, Tuesday night, I'll be over in Indiana, probably over by Muncie in a truck stop. There'll be an available flatbed. I'm sure we can find some lights.
Do it on top of the truck. There you go. That's what's going to happen at Matt's. We're going to do
I
a.
will not be doing it outside this week in Wisconsin. It's going to be like negative
Yeah.
65.
No,
winds,
you can
so
go
not happening.
inside the trailer with cows. The cows warm you up inside.
Oh, you're
yeah,
that's right.
cows are
You're
instant
hauling them.
furnaces,
Cattle
so
pod, that's
yes.
right. Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
The
Hey,
cattle.
Tyler, what's your Instagram and Snapchat?
Yeah, Tyler, let us know if you want to
can we
be
follow you,
famous.
Tyler? Can we
You're going to
do
get a
that?
lot of followers, unfortunately, and they're going to be weird truckers, but that's okay.
You go on my Instagram.
At what?
Tyler_Novak70.
So
All right, I'm
at
going to find you right now.
Tyler
I'm gonna find you
_
right now.
Novak 70. There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
find you right now, or I'll forget. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna type you in, and now I'm gonna stalk you here.
Mr. Bill Weaver, please tell us about everything that you got going on because there's a list and I don't remember it all.
Oh my God, we don't have enough time. Got a lot going on at Matt's. Just about every truck show, big and small, the rest of the year we're involved in somehow. Live shows. It's a mess right now.
Where
Best
can
thing to do is go to BillWeaverMusic.com. I'll be updating everything on there, and on Facebook, look up Bill Weaver Music or just the @ and trucking songs, and it'll take you to my Facebook. I'm starting to add everything into there because it's just coming in droves.
go to BillWeaverMusic.com. Go to BillWeaverMusic.com. I built that website. Go buy Bill's
Find
CD.
y'all, too.
Yeah, go buy both of Bill's CDs actually because I think you're coming out with a third one here at some point, right? Is it this year or next year?
Working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it'll be this year, hopefully before GATS, before the Great American Truck Show. at
So-
Dallas.
So grab his
Bill,
too.
I need to get your music on Mother Trucker Yoga's website.
Did I not send you download cards?
You sent me downloads, but I also need to get your stuff available for purchase. So we have to talk about that
there
and
you
how
go.
I can get your
Okay,
CDs
okay.
up there and whatever. So we need to talk about that. So
There you go.
Okay,
we need to set up a time to chat.
we
Networking.
can do it. Just let me know when you want to do it.
Okay, cool.
So Bill Weaver Music, at Bill Weaver Music on everything, trucking songs. Make sure you go check out Bill Weaver. His music is fantastic. He will be at Matt's and a whole bunch of other stuff. He's one of the best, if not the best, in my opinion, trucking musicians around right now. I love his music. I love Mr. DOT. I love the Diesel Life.
I had that stuck in my head
we
so
used-
bad the other day, Bill. I was singing
the Diesel Life.
I
is-
used it in a song in a video I made the other day, Mr. DOT, and I haven't stopped singing it since.
So-
Actually, it's a great song.
very
I
catchy.
appreciate that. I'm honored.
Yeah, very catchy. We use it on the Jack's Chrome Show. We use it on the Jack and Dave Show. It's great stuff. Go check out Bill Weaver. That's basically it. The Jack and Dave Show is tomorrow morning. That's the next show, 10 a.m. Come tune in to us. And that's it. If you guys would like to help support us, like the post that you're on right now, share it, and like Chrome and Steel, chromeandsteelradio.com. That's it. Anybody else?
Nope.
I think we're good. Thank you guys so much for watching for our January party here. Our next party will be, let's see, we have February coming up, and it's a short month, so let me see when our next party will be. Most likely, let me look, probably the 24th. The 24th, which is a Sunday. We always have our Chrome and Steel Radio parties on the 24th, or on the Sunday, so the 24th of February is probably our next one. We'll have a couple more people here, but our cast right here had a great time. So if you guys would like to help support us, please go to chromeandsteelradio.com, share the live feed, and that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will talk to you very, very soon. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, brother. Everybody be safe.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.